The smell after the rain. One of the most delicious and refreshing scents known to mankind. After a lot of rain, you can't help but notice how clean and vibrant everything looks. The air is filled with earthy scents that stimulate your senses and immediately lift your mood. This captivating scent actually has a name, petrichor. Those mornings when the very thought of getting out of your comfortable bed seems like an impossible task. Well, it turns out there is a valid term for this struggle. It is dysania. This is a real condition characterized by great difficulty getting up in the morning. People with dyslexia often result in them lying in bed for long periods of time and repeatedly hitting the snooze button. When we consume large amounts of food or liquid, our stomach stretches, prompting the release of hormones that initiate digestion. But if we go beyond its capacity, like those extra helpings of cheesy fries or that bottomless pitcher of margaritas, our body struggles to handle the overload. And this uncomfortable feeling is called as crapulence. Did you ever wondered what the day after tomorrow is called? Well, turns out there's a word for it, overmorrow. It may sound a bit outdated or even made up. But overmorrow is actually an archaic term that means the day after tomorrow. So next time you need to refer to the day after tomorrow without using too many words, just drop the word overmorrow into conversation and impress your friends with your lexical prowess. The prongs of the fork play a pretty important role in our dining experiences. These little guys come in different shapes and sizes depending on the type of fork, but their purpose remains the same, to pierce and hold onto food. And let's not forget about their fancy designs, and they are called as tines. You know that little dot that hovers above the letter I, or J. This tiny mark, smaller than a crumb, plays a crucial role in our alphabet. It might seem insignificant, but without it we wouldn't be able to distinguish between two very different words. Well, turns out it actually has a name. It's called a tittle. Funny word, right? You've got yourself a bottle of champagne and you notice this funky little metal cage securing the cork. Its purpose is pretty straightforward, to keep that cork from popping off prematurely and causing a fizzy mess. So, when you're finally ready to unleash those effervescent delights, and ready to savor every sip of that sparkling goodness without any unexpected mishaps, well, that contraption is called an agraff. Do you know that weird sensation when you close your eyes and still see a glow of light? It is called phosphenes, which occur due to the stimulation of the cells in your retina even if there is no actual light present. When you shut your eyes tightly or apply a gentle pressure on them, these little bursts of color begin to play before your very eyes. Did you know that the space between your nostrils has a fancy name? Yep, it's called the columella nasi. The columella nasi is actually the vertical strip of skin and cartilage that divides your two nostrils, giving them their distinctive shape. It plays an important role in supporting the structure of your nose and keeping everything in place. Have you ever heard of this cool punctuation mark called the interrobang? It's actually a combination of a question mark and an exclamation mark, creating one super expressive symbol. It's like shouting with excitement while also asking for clarification. It refers to a messy or illegible handwriting, the kind that looks like it has been scratched by a griffin's claws, and the term used for it is griffonage, which may sound unfamiliar. But its concept is something we all have experienced at some point in our lives. It is an essential element in determining the comfort and fit of a shirt, dress, or jacket. Armsies is a term used in the fashion industry to describe the area in a garment where the armhole meets the sleeve. You're craving a delicious cheesy slice of pizza, but instead of just enjoying the food, you stumble upon something even more amazing. And it is called a box tent, which protects your pizza from falling apart in your pizza box. So, you know those moments when you're jamming to your favorite song but suddenly realize you don't actually know the lyrics. These playful and catchy syllables have become a staple in popular music across genres and generations called vocables. You know that thing you stick your feet into at a shoe store? Well, that's the Brannock device. It's this handy gadget used to measure your foot size and determine your shoe size. When you step onto it, it accurately measures the length and width of your foot, as well as arch length. You know that sound babies make when they cry? Well, turns out there's actually a fancy-sounding word for it: vagitus. Vagitus helps clear the baby's lungs by forcing excess amniotic fluid out and replacing it with fresh oxygen. So next time you hear that distinctive cry echoing through the halls, you know a new life ready to take on the challenges of existence. When your stomach starts making all those funny rumbling noises like thunder brewing in the distance or a car engine struggling to start. It's that subtle yet unmistakable sign that hunger is creeping up on you, which is called womble. Those metal coverings on the ends of shoelaces. Well, they actually have a name: aglets. They prevent the ends of shoelaces from fraying, which can make them difficult to thread through tiny eyelets. They add rigidity to the lace, making it easier to guide through those pesky holes without constantly fumbling around. Whether you're raising an eyebrow quizzically or enhancing your makeup skills, the space between your eyebrows should never be overlooked. It is a small yet significant area on your face. The space between your eyebrows is known as the glabella.